Spiritual words and phrases. What do they mean? This is going to be part 2, a follow-up to part 1 where we discuss what discernment is and what duality is. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the next one is a phrase. The phrase is, I've ascended to 5D or 9D. And this one's a little funny because I understand what someone is trying to say when they say this phrase, but it's oftentimes misused. So first, what does ascension mean? Ascension represents transformation. Oftentimes, when we look at the past and we look at figures like Jesus, who after he was resurrected, he ascended to heaven and left this earthly physical plane. So oftentimes the meaning attached to ascension is when one is leaving one state to go to the next. In our modern times, how we achieve ascension is through inner transformation, through identity, thoughts, behaviors, actions. That is how we ascend, by becoming something new, raising up from a different state. Now, when someone throws out the term 5D or 9D, what they're referring to is a state of being. Fifth dimension or ninth dimension refers to dimensional spaces where energy has a different mechanical process. So when somebody says that, they're basically trying to say, I've changed who I am into a different state of being. Now, if somebody says that they've ascended beyond this third dimensional plane, I would tell all of you to inquire more. Ask them to articulate exactly how they did it and what that entails. Because we have the capacity to embody the qualities of these different dimensional spaces. And let me just give this to y'all right now. The fifth dimension represents the state of love in form. The third dimensional plane is the last physical dimensional space. Once you go from fourth dimension all the way up to the 10th, 11th, 12th dimension, it's non-physical. So for somebody to say, I've ascended to 5D or 9D, but they're still here in a physical body, let's make sure they understand what they're saying. Because if you're still here in a physical form, you are operating in the third dimensional space. But your qualities, your behaviors, your state of being could actually have the characteristics of the other dimensional spaces. The ninth dimension, y'all, because we have information that's verified for this, the ninth dimension is the center of the Milky Way galaxy. So if somebody were to say, I've ascended to the ninth dimension, that's a very expansive state. And for one to embody that, then there would be some characteristics that would show. And you would be able to tell. But if they still get upset because their coffee was made wrong at Starbucks or Dutch Bros, or if they're emotionally drawn into the drama of what's happening around them or in the world, they may not be in the ninth dimension, all right? So yeah, that's what that is about, that phrase. The next is another phrase, take it to your edge. We don't often say this within the energetic space when we're doing energetic healing, but you may find this phrase talked about when you are doing yoga or when you might be doing breath work. And sometimes you could be finding this phrase if you're doing like Qigong, right? Take it to your edge is a phrase used to describe you pushing past your limits, going beyond your comfort zone and reaching your boundary. Because oftentimes we're so used to staying within our comfortable box that when it's time to grow, we oftentimes fall short of that because we're not stretching ourselves to meet that edge. So think about what your edge is. It's almost like that line in the sand that once you start approaching it, your body naturally wants to pull back. It wants to stop the process. But in order for you to grow and become something greater, you have to push beyond your comfort zone and get really close to your edge. It's almost like the analogy of when you stretch a rubber band, the rubber band never fully goes back to its original dimensions. So once you stretch it, you stretch it, you stretch it, it actually stays more or less in that expanded state. So ask yourself that. How have you pushed yourself to your edge? And if you haven't, it's probably time that you start. All right, so that's it for part 2, y'all, for spiritual words and phrases. If you have any that you would like for me to talk about, please drop them in the comment below and I'll make another video. Peace.